1945 Liberty Wheat penny is one of the final wartime issues in the Lincoln Cent series, minted during the closing chapters of World War II. At this time, the United States was fully committed to the war effort, and every aspect of the economy, including coin production, was influenced by the needs of the military. The wheat penny design, created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, had already been in circulation for 36 years by 1945. The obverse front of the coin features Lincoln's right-facing bust, a bold yet humble portrayal of the 16th U.S. president whose leadership during the Civil War saved the Union. The inscriptions in God We Trust appear above. Liberty is to the left and the date 1945 is positioned to the right, depending on the mint location. A mint mark may appear beneath the date. No mint mark for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. The reverse back is adorned with two curved wheat stalks framing the inscriptions. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 1 billion wheat pennies in 1945.1040, 515,000 to be exact, making it one of the most common dates of the series. Denver produced 266,268,000 coins, and San Francisco minted 181,770,000. This abundance means that most circulated 1945 cents are easy to find today, but pristine, uncirculated examples, especially in high mint state readiness road condition, are much scarcer and more valuable for collectors. The 1945 wheat penny offers more than just numismatic value. It as a tangible relic of a turning point in history. When these coins were released, Germany had surrendered in May 1945, ending the war in Europe, and Japan surrendered in August 1945. Following the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, soldiers were returning home. Industry was shifting from war production to consumer goods, and Americans were entering a period of economic optimism. Circulation. These pennies were part of everyday life, used to buy candy, newspapers, and soda. They jingled in the pockets of guests, factory workers, and school children alike. The wheat design itself, introduced in the early 20th century, carried a sense of tradition and stability qualities the nation greatly valued during and after the war. Collectors especially looked for full red luster, sharp strike details in Lincoln's hair and beard, and clean wheat lines on the reverse. Certain era varieties from 1945 can be valuable, including off-center strikes, die cracks, and repunch mint marks (RP-Ms), particularly from the Denver and San Francisco mints. The average circulated 1945 wheat penny is worth only a few cents over face value, but in high mint state grades, values can reach $50, $150 or more. Exceptional examples with brilliant color, flawless surfaces, and rare errors can bring several $100s at auction. This coin's enduring appeal lies in its ability to connect collectors to a pivotal year in American and world history. 1945. The Lincoln wheat penny had already achieved iconic status. Introduced in 1909 for the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than allegorical imagery. This was a bold change in American coinage design, spearheaded by President Theodore Roosevelt's artistic coinage reform. The designer, Victor David Brenner, created a portrait of Lincoln based on photographs taken in 1864 by Matthew Brady, which gave the coin a serious and dignified tone. The wheat reverse was not just decorative, it symbolized the agrarian roots of the United States, a nod to the nation's farmers and the backbone of its economy. The two wheat stalks flanking the denomination were carefully engraved to represent abundance and prosperity, important themes in an America recovering from the Civil War. In Lincoln's time and later, after the Great Depression and the Second World War, the mid-1940s, the U.S. Mint was operating under unusual pressures. The war had forced major adjustments in coin production materials. In 1943, pennies were made from zinc-coated steel to save copper for ammunition shell casings, electrical wiring, and military equipment. This decision caused public confusion. Steel cents rusted easily, and many were mistaken for dimes. By 1944, copper returned to cent production, but it was still sourced largely from recycled shell casings, collected from military training ranges. The 1945 wheat penny, therefore, was made from copper. That may very well have once been part of wartime ammunition. In a way, these coins became symbols of transformation, turning tools of war into tools of commerce. Minting in 1945 took place in 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Mintmark produced over 1 billion coins, making it the largest contributor. These figures reflect America's massive post-war industrial output, as mints ran at full speed to meet the needs of a booming economy and returning servicemen. In circulation, the 1945 penny was a common sight in cash registers, vending machines, and children's piggy banks. The cost of living in 1945 was vastly different. A loaf of bread averaged 9 cents, a gallon of gasoline was 21 cents, and a newspaper could be bought for just 3 cents. A single penny still had tangible purchasing power, especially for kids, who could buy a small handful of candy for a few cents. For soldiers returning from Europe and the Pacific, these coins were part of a new chapter in their lives. Many Gs came home with military pay in their pockets, quickly integrating back into civilian life, where a copper penny was a reminder of stability. After years of uncertainty, numismatically, the 1945 wheat penny is known for strong strikes in most cases, though the San Francisco issues sometimes show slightly weaker details due to die wear. Collectors seek coins with sharp Lincoln hairlines, crisp wheat kernels on the reverse, and full original mint luster qualities that fade quickly in collectors.